How long gone? Lock the gates. We're back in this bitch. It's a beautiful, beautiful Sunday in New York City. 82 degrees. The sun is shining. The people are out smiling and shit. How are you, TJ?
People are out smiling and shit. I'm still riding high off of that Brandon Flowers interview. Am I right?
I'm coming out of my cage, bro. Actually, you know, it's funny you bring up B-Flow because now I'm seeing some stuff on Twitter about how there's people saying the Killers are better than the Strokes, which is like a 1v1 I've never thought about. You know, the Strokes are infinitely cooler, of course, and have one classic album, but I would rather listen, if I, gun to head, I would rather listen to the Killers, but you can't ever say the Strokes are less cool. That feels like a crazy argument.
It's we'll call it maybe a Marlboro Red versus a Marlboro Light. Marlboro Red, less popular, more cool, only built for my strongest smokers.
Yeah.
But Marlboro Light is going to sell more, going to be more popular, going to be more enjoyed. Diet Coke, regular Coke. And, Diet Coke is a derivative, a version of Coca-Cola that was created in reference of Coca-Cola without sugar. And the Killers are a band that replicates the Strokes, but without the coming.
Well, I think the issue is they came out at the same time. So they're both trying to replicate different American bands.
Are you going to chicken and egg the Killers and the Strokes? About to nut right now.
No. I mean, I just think it. I haven't.
Who came first, the Killers or the Strokes?
I haven't listened to the new Strokes album. It feels like it's a mixed bag. I haven't. I'm going to listen to it today, but I've seen mixed things. I don't know if you listened to it as a head.
I kind of stopped being a head a while ago.
Yeah,
there are entire Strokes records and songs and chunks of albums that I have probably never listened to or only played the day it came out and moved on with my life. For some reason, this album, I have a deep-seated desire to sort of make my personality about how I actually like the new Strokes, and it's actually
not you.
I was talking to Carolyn about it yesterday because she's more of a Strokes head than I.
We know.
Musically and otherwise, and music in terms
Physically?
of music as well as miscellaneous interests. Just kidding, babe. I love you. But
you're not kidding, but you love her. I know that to be true. One of those things is true. Go ahead.
I'm not kidding, and I love you. All of that. One of them doesn't depend on the other. But I was saying, like, is there, because obviously, Julian doesn't get the credit he deserves for sort of, being the Kevin Parker of the Tame Impala. Like he quietly writes every song and every instrument and every part and sort of Rick Rubin's the entire thing in his mind, the way Prince or Elton John or Quincy Jones or any other musical visionary does. And it's making me wonder, in 20 years, are we all going to be like, fuck, this, what's it called? Something awaits? Hell awaits?
Reality awaits. Reality
awaits. We're going to be like, fuck, we were idiots. Our brains just couldn't understand that that's the way music was going back in 2026. Is it going to have like a Kid A effect where it changed everything? Probably not, but I'm kind of liking it.
I'm sure I'll like it. I mean, I like most. I mean, I don't revisit all the time, but like, when I'm making these, when I'm like, in the lab making these Hanover playlists, I always go to the Strokes. I'm like, damn, they got slaps, man. But it's sort of like it is. I think it's a curse, and the Killers kind of suffer from the same thing, where it's like the first album is so big and like considered a classic that you like every kid has to listen to if they're into music.
Talking about Hot Fuss.
I'm talking about Hot Fuss, and I'm talking about Is This It? And I think it's like the problem is, how can you ever, like the Killers? I saw Stephen Hyden tweet this. He's like, Mr. Brightside is like bigger than the band. Is big, you know what I'm saying? It's like one of those situations where the Strokes,
for sure.
The Strokes don't have that, but I don't think the Strokes were meant to have that either.
I would say just as many people think that the band is also called Mr. Brightside. They're like,
it's that big.
Who sings the song?
Yeah,
Mr. Brightside.
Yeah, it's that big. You're absolutely right. It's like that big where it's a life of its own.
And also, to be clear, the Strokes formed in 98, released their debut EP in 2001. The Killers wouldn't you know, it formed in 2001 and then released their debut album Hot Fuss in 2004.
I'm sure they. I don't know if the Strokes.
I feel like they've been on record saying like we heard. We heard whatever.
No, you're right. You're right.
Why we started. I mean, which is fine. That's just how everything in the world goes forever.
Well, I guess the EP that you're talking about is probably underappreciated in the Strokes catalog, whereas Is This It is the classic debut. Yeah. So I don't really remember. I mean, New York City Cops, baby, put that shit on. I am looking to relapse. You put New York City Cops on.
Really?
New York City Cops is so good, dude. It's so good.
Would your sponsor for interrupting, would your sponsor suggest doing this or not doing like a Hanover relapse playlist?
Dude, Hanover relapse playlist. So
look,
good.
I don't want to relapse, but if I were going to,
I mean, there are New York's. There's just it's all got to be from that time period, unfortunately. So it would be a limited time span of songs that would be focused there. But
I mean, yacht rock. That's fine. That's for your grandpa to listen to. Relapse song, relapse banger.
There's so many relapse. There's so many block party. Oh my god, cut me one, bro. You know what I mean? There's just
if you relapse because you hear a block party song. Oh my god.
No, I'm not saying that would put me over the edge. I'm saying that it's sort of like, unfortunately, in that zone. Like, we're not going to go hot.
I know what you mean.
We're not going to go hot heat or anything stupid, but we could get into a zone. We're not going to go clap your hands, say yeah. It's not that far.
Okay, that would be crazy. We're not doing Of Montreal Coke. Let's rein things in for a minute.
No.
But I just like that our parents' generations, you'd hear like some weird sound in the backyard and you'd get a Vietnam flashback and, all generational traumas coming back. And then you hear Banquet by Block Party, Steve Aoki remix. And you get the same level of like,
hold on. Hey, bro.
And like suddenly there's a spoon in your hand. Like, where did I get this meaning?
I lost friends in that war. You know what I mean? I lost friends in that. But I think to be fair, I want to be very clear.
Lost a lot of good men to the the gang dance split 7-inch war. The battle of gang.
I'm not gonna say a Steve Aoki remix. You put words in my mouth on that. That's you. I'm going. You're right. I'm going original only. I'm going original album version. Not. It's the thing is, even if I saw them today, it wouldn't do that. And the same thing with the Strokes. If I see them at Just Like Heaven Festival, August 22nd in Los Angeles, featuring them jeans. If I see the Strokes play New York City Cops, it's not going to work. I would need to hear it in MJQ in line for the bathroom.
Oh, okay. Set and setting are just as important.
Yeah.
You can't be in the parking lot of a golf course.
I just did a redheaded slut shot with 3 girls that work at Betsy Johnson, and I'm looking to straighten. and that it can't be.
Yeah, I mean, hanging out with those Betsy Johnson girls, you do need to straighten it out. I'm not talking about cocaine.
It can't be like me, you, and a few friends, with lanyards on as the wind blows.
Right,
it's not the same. It's not the same.
No, it's very true. Hanging out with some guys who I used to DJ with who are sort of into crypto now, and you gonna have that last cut water? Oh no, that one is your. Okay, you got it.
You put on a little weight, but the house in Pasadena looks amazing, dude. Congratulations, man. It looks.
Yeah. All things considered. Also, do you guys have any more ice, or this is it?
All things considered, it seems to be going super well for you, dude. So congrats, man. Good to see you, bro. It's been a while. Good to see you.
Yeah, I guess it seems like there's a lot of. I don't know why, but the nostalgia cycle, it's starting, like, it's not increasing in speed, but I feel like it's increasing in velocity, if that makes sense. Like, things aren't coming faster. You know what I mean? Like, it's still on a quote-unquote 20-year cycle, but I just keep saying the phrase 20-year cycle, and we keep seeing these things of like, 20 years ago, the Killers and the Hot Fuss and the this and the Strokes and Emeril Lagasse was on TV, and this, it just kind of... It's starting to give me a little whiplash where we don't even know what's going on today.
Well, the Emeril stuff is fun for me because I wasn't aware of it. Like, I didn't know about that. I mean, I knew he's a famous chef. He's very popular, the king of New Orleans, I believe.
You mean when it was happening
live
exactly, at the time,
exactly.
you were not paying attention to it whatsoever? More of an Alton Brown guy. I get it. Same.
Atlanta zone. But I sort of, I'm seeing those videos and it is great television. But now I'm waiting for I mean, who's going to respond? Is the pressure on Pierce? Like who from the Bon app test kitchen extended universe, can Baragani do it? He's not white. He's close. There's
Bamagani.
Yeah, it's written. It's written.
You get an Iranian guy saying "Bam" on TV is bad for ratings. Don't put that on Fox 11.
Bamagani.
Well, we were talking about this in the group chat. I was like, is any aspiring chef an up and coming content creator like a Bargani or a Pierce or even some of our female creators? Are they gonna sort of start to Emeril Max? Are they gonna say like, you know what, instead of making these miso brown butter cookies at home in my beautiful kitchenette thing, what if we get a 12-piece jazz band? And then like I put crawdads in a walk and then we just kind of scream for a while.
Well, what I'm saying is
can anyone pull that off nowadays? It's really difficult and many can attempt, but I don't think anyone can actually do that.
Well,
nowadays.
here's the issue that I think is that because Emeril existed in obviously a pre-mass internet world, but also pre-ASMR world, where now everyone speaks kind of slowly and specific. You know what I mean? It's like a different presentation.
Yes.
Instagram has created sort of a different way to present that same content.
We just want to cut our squash into different shapes and just lay those out nicely.
Even when it was like, like Eddie and Action, Vice, Maddie's the closest. Maddie's the closest we got. He's the highest energy guy we got. So he's the spiritual successor, I would say. But is there I would like to see a woman. I would like to see a woman take up, I would like to see a woman take the reins and get and conduct that jazz band.
I've seen one female identifying food content creator person. I don't know their name, but her vibe is a little kind of like F you mom teen
nice.
kind of vibe. Like, I'm gonna make ribs today. Fuck you. And like flips off the camera and like, what if maybe I'll like do a shot of Jack before I put it in the marinade, that kind of vibe. But it's a little more like F you, get out of my room kind of energy and less of like a Cajun Bayou jamboree.
But the thing about
Maddie is close. I think Maddie because Action Bronson had that. It was like a live Vice show and he'd have like musicians come. It was in the Vice office and they would do live kind of cooking demos. But nobody has that heart in them like Emeril did. I don't know. We need someone from down in Louisiana.
That somebody come out of the woodworks because I think this could take off. I think that like it would be nice to have some excitement in this. This world needs to be shaken up a little beyond obviously the Them Jeans body cam videos, which disrupted the space. I think we need
and it continues to disrupt the space on a semi-regular basis. Okay.
I'm not joking. I think it's an actually inventive way to do it, but I don't know if you're not excitable enough. You're not allowed, you're not a brat. You're not that guy. You know what I mean? You found what works for you and it's in technique. Whereas Emeril, of course, I'm sure the food is delicious, but he's presenting in a high energy, I'm not going to say cocaine use way, but I'm not going to, it feels like uppers influenced.
Yeah, it's uppers. It's a little too inclusive. It's everyone's welcome. Bring the kids energy. And me, it's a little more like, look at my hands for a minute and a half. You know what I mean, guys? Do a screenshot if you want. But now, like we were talking, hopefully we're going to get, what's his name from the Bourdain biopic to come on the pod, but
Dominique.
Yeah, in 4 years, is the Emeril wave going to go so nar that A24 or Neon is going to do that same exact biopic about Emeril and just called Emeril about a young man coming up on the French Quarter. Cooper Hoffman, the little kind of redhead kid that was in Licorice Pizza.
Yeah.
He's playing a young Emeril, right?
No. He's too white.
Too white to play Emeril.
Emeril does
dye his hair.
Yeah, you could dye his hair, but I think Emeril's got to die. I don't wish that on Emeril, but I don't think anybody's. I don't think the Bourdain documentary about the specific period of his life would not exist if he was still with us. Is what I'm trying to say. So I don't know if Emeril.
I'm just glad we have clean audio of you saying Emeril got to die.
I'm just saying. I say that all the time. The best thing you can do for your career is die, and I think Emeril is in that spot now that he's riding. I wonder if he's going to comment. I wonder if he's going to go on like Good Morning America or something and do one of these, bring it back. I think that'd be great.
I worry that he's a little too kind of CTE, whatever kind of chef trauma in his head that he has. Like, I don't know if his handlers are going to let him do more than fire off a notes app response to it. Getting him on a hot mic might be a little.
I think he's still. I think
when
he's
we would
still
get Biden on the microphone and kind of cross your fingers if he's going to.
I think he's still.
I could be wrong.
Pretty active, but he's also got. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's got a son who's a kind of taking the reins and is a very good chef as well.
That's right.
And like maybe runs the OG restaurant, like the one whatever the OG is in New Orleans. But it may just be called Emeril's.
His son is the youngest 2 Michelin star chef in the history of the world.
Oh shit!
Crazy! It's a crazy vibe.
Wow, that's really crazy. Good for him.
Yeah, good for Lil E, Tiny E.
Tiny E. That's what they call him. Tiny E's. It's actually a small.
Do you remember that
sandwich shop in New Orleans? It's 2 Michelin, but it's just no. I don't know what the food is. I'm sure it's fussy as hell.
His name is EJ Lagasse, I think, and he looks like a young Emeril. But there was a good SNL sketch about what if Elvis Presley was small, called Tiny Elvis.
yeah, dude, it's so stupid.
See, back in the day, when the people on SNL were good enough, that was the whole point of the sketch, and they got multiple episodes over the years would just be guys saying, I don't know if you're going to fit in that thimble, E. And then he does. And then there's one called Microscopic Elvis where they made him even smaller. Good stuff.
They kept it going. I mean, look, we're bullish on. I've been watching a lot of Cam Patterson videos, bro. I have been watching a lot of fucking Cam Patterson videos.
Spend time in the barbershop.
That motherfucker is making me chuckle, man. That like the interview, the Shannon Sharp episode he did is is honestly one of the funniest things I've seen in a while. Mm-hmm. Like, it's so fucking funny. Is it
because you love the way inquisitive unk talks to a young buck and they're able to sort of pass the torch on to a generation?
He says this ridiculous shit and he can't stop smiling while he's saying it. Like, he's selling it, but he's not laughing. I can't explain it. It's like he's selling it. He's not laughing at his own jokes, but it's coming at all times because of his face. I don't know. It's too good. It's too good.
He whips you up into a frenzy. I mean,
it's too good.
I think people like him need to be a little more celebrated by unks like us, because you could tell that he came up in the correct kind of farm team system of humor, like whatever his friend group was or his family group or whatever. Like, he had a good variety to choose from.
I believe, unfortunately, it might be Wild 'N Out. Might be his, which I think has given us a lot of better young comedians than we realize. Because we don't watch Wild 'N Out, because we're not the demo for that, really.
It's so funny. Like, our generation is like, oh, that one's UCB. Oh, they're Second City. Oh, they went to Harvard, Lampoon. And this generation, it's like Wild 'N Out.
I mean, look, Wild 'N Out. Look, they got 30 people on stage, so it's like, one or two of those goes off, and Nick
Savannah Bananas of sketch comedy. I'll say it.
Dude, I saw Savannah Bananas pitch today. Ooh, baby, unbelievable! Behind the back, over like moonshot behind the back, perfect strike.
You're spending too much time in Montauk, Chris, watching Savannah Bananas with all those damn wasps.
No, we had a couple hours in the car each way, so I can only chat so much.
And so that means you weren't driving?
No, I was not driving. We were given Uber codes to make our way to and from. So Sam and I left on Thursday night, and then Alex and Emma met us there. But it was I don't think I'd been in Uber that long since Yayo and I went to go see Justin Timberlake in Philadelphia and took an Uber back. But this was a full almost 3 hour
Philadelphia to Manhattan Uber.
This is a full 3 hour Uber on a Thursday night. It was
3 hour to go from them Manhattan to
Montauk.
Long Island. How many miles do you think that is?
I don't know, actually. I don't know. But I think we were in We were in a good spot. Like that was the time. Like leaving at 8:00 on a Thursday was what I was.
117 miles.
Yeah,
because your Montauk's at the very end, right?
It's literally the end, as they call it. Yeah, it was my first. I'd been there before for a shoot or two, but it's
no minorities allowed on the tip over there, right?
No, there were no. That's not true. That's not true. I mean, I didn't see any, but I think they're there. The town, it's very young. Like, I guess everything, I forget that everything is sort of just like 16-year-olds or 25-year-olds in matching sets getting coffees and stuff. That's just like everything. Everywhere you go in the world, that's who the crowd is, kind of. And I don't know where to go to escape that. Like, I feel if we go to Iowa City right now to get a cortado, we would encounter a matcha being filmed there by a girl. Yeah,
because you can't go to Europe to escape it anymore because they're sort of doing the same thing. Their Aloe sets say Trap Star on them, which makes it a little bit cooler, but you do have to keep an eye on some of them.
Yeah, exactly.
You can. I would say like Mexico is probably going to be the closest place where you can escape that.
Rural Mexico City, no way, bro. Those Contramar fucking tostadas are on Instagram, and it ain't. You know who's doing it. You know who's doing it. It ain't us.
Okay.
But yeah, it's interesting to walk around. But we went to whatever. It was the Edition was doing. They brought their chef from Como to cook at this hotel called the Crow's Nest. So we went for that, and then we're able to have a full beach day where I was able to purchase a cheap football at like the Surf Shack for Sam and I. And I gotta say, Sam, tight spiral. I was pretty impressed. I was pretty impressed with the cannon on those little twigs.
Tight frame, tight spin, as they say.
I didn't see the spiral coming down the beach, and we had to watch out for all the hot surfers, of course. So I wasn't able to really unload a 30-yarder. But
really? You didn't have the real estate to really open up the gun the way you wanted to? Is that what you're saying?
Well, I had some routes planned that I was going to kind of run, and Sam and I we had gone through on the iPad on the way up, and then when we got there, there just wasn't.
It's a shame you had to keep that dog muzzled for the afternoon. Too
exactly.
Too many people around.
And I could see Sam getting frustrated, but he was able to still kind of hit the target. No matter how much.
It's good that you had a little this. I mean, in the call me by your name of it all, you are kind of Army hammering, and he is sort of Timothée. Timmy's going through his twink death right now, and Sam might be as well, as he sort of spiral mogs you on La Playa.
Well, because Sam looks like he's walking in the Saint Laurent show. He's more athletic. Great golf. I have seen him play golf. He's a great golfer. He can play tennis. He can throw a football. I think
his lacrosse stick probably has got a nice snap to it.
Dude, it's so funny you say that. There was a kid walking down the beach in Montauk with a lacrosse stick, just kind of working on his handles, shirt off. I'm like, all right, bro, save some for the rest of us. Go inside. This is too much.
Sam goes, give me that stick.
Let me show you how it's done, pussy.
Go long, fag.
But it was it was fun. It was a good, and the weather was like prime time, so it wasn't too hot, which is always
So was just to be clear, was this a bit of an activation?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the dinner at the hotel was like 100 people.
Was this powered by the Edition?
It was powered by the Edition, yeah. And then I sat next to, I made new friends, actually.
Fucking Edition opens more hotels than In-N-Out opens locations, bro.
Well, it wasn't. That's what I'm saying. It wasn't a hotel. It's like they brought the chef from Como, whose food I'd had before, to cook, and it was like an American Express edition, but it was at it was at the Crow's Nest, which is an existing hotel.
Got it.
So it was. Okay. There's a lot happening. There was a lot happening.
Just say it's a hybrid activation, and we can just move on from this, Chris.
Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right.
How much? I know you didn't pay. Obviously, Amex paid for these Uber cars, but does it show you on the app how much that
it wasn't
Uber
that bad, bro? I think it was like $800, maybe $700-800, and an Escalade, like a new Escalade. Okay. It wasn't like it wasn't crazy, because I think that if you
were to do that with like 5 of your bros and everyone pays $150 each kind of thing,
it's not crazy. Yeah, it's not crazy. I did though.
It's not crazy.
There's a gym in Montauk called Body Tech, and I think I have found the worst gym I've ever been to. And
weird.
And I've me, I've been to some holes, I've been to some basements. No, those two things are not related. Don't make a joke.
I've been to the hole, the mine shaft, basement, of course. What else?
But
and also to be fair, you kind of also like a bit of a shitty, ratty, kind of no nonsense gym.
Yeah,
You're a bit of a connoisseur of it. And one day there will be like a Rizzoli book of these sort of forgotten gyms of Rochester, New York, and etc. that you will photograph beautifully on a large format, black and white.
Here's the thing. Those kind of, when they're like weird Blue Lives Matter, upstate New York, like I'm an ex-bodybuilder gym, they're sick because they have cool logos of like bulldogs with a chain in its mouth or something, you know, and it's got all the crazy, it's got equipment I've never really seen before, and the
bulldogs eating one of the rowing machines because they're too gay.
Yeah, exactly. And everything's like a little too heavy, you know, it's cool.
Everything starts at 80 pounds.
Yeah, there's no light weights for shoulders or whatever, you know. It's not like so this gym was located inside of like what seemed to be like a community center, so it felt like almost like a church building, let's say. And you go up the steps and I'm like, where's the gym? And they're like, it's over there. And it's basically like 4 small to medium sized room in like a suburban church building, and each of them has equipment in it, and there's no room. I'm talking like it was the most impossible place to exercise. Like there was nowhere to stretch, there was nowhere to roll out. It's just like there's an inch between every machine. It was awful. It was crazy. And I always forget when you go to these places that are sort of like rich people New York getaways, that they're also just like Long Island, New York. So it's like guys with tactical backpacks with "Don't Tread on Me" patches and like guns in their glove compartment. That you don't catch that when you're at Joni's for a breakfast burrito. You know what I mean? This is kind of reserved. Same
thing when I go over to Ojai or Palm Springs, and then you drive 15 minutes into the other part, and it's the same exact things. It's rattlesnakes, "Don't tread on me." Maybe there's a cover up of a swastika tattoo, etc.
It was just a fascinating. I was like, the fact that this is like, Montauk is a little more rough around the edges, like surf town, which is charming. But then it's like, dude, this is the fact
like
that
Point Break.
There's not a gym like a real gym here. This is the best you got is pretty insane to me. It was pretty. I had to go. Like after 30 minutes, it's like I can't really be in here anymore. It's diminishing returns.
It kind of feels like when you're in Canada, like a rough kind of Canadian town, it'll say like my drinking team has a hockey problem.
Yes,
same thing could apply over there, but with whatever Olympic powerlifting team my drinking team has a powerlifting problem.
But don't worry,
I think the
entire gymnasium was of course a pickleball. It had been repurposed for pickleball, so it's
been dinked. I
could hear the dinks while I was trying to do some stuff on the cable machine. But I don't know if you watched the new Dink film on Netflix.
Nope, I have not. And whoever is involved in that should be for shamed. Jake Johnson and Mary Steenburgen.
Jake Johnson, he was on that big. He was on that big show.
No,
he was
on
New Girl.
He was on New Girl. Also, Ben Stiller's probably. Yeah. The problem is, it was written by Sean Clements from Hollywood Handbook, and he's a very smart, funny guy. So the writing on it is probably good, but making it about pickleball, I don't know if I'll ever be able to watch it.
I have to tell you.
Also, it's on Apple TV, so I'm never going to watch it.
Someone in my life was watching it. I'm not going to say who. So it was kind of I was overhearing it, and I have
to say, what did Sam Hine think about it?
yeah. So when Sam and I were in bed,
Sam, let me get your Apple code.
And he was watching it.
Give me your fucking login.
But the plot, the idea is funny, and I gotta say, as lame as pickleball is, it's just smart to make a movie about it, man. Because the kind of people, the kind of people that will watch whatever is on their Apple TV because they got the free subscription when they bought a new, iPad. It's like this is smart business. This is just where we're at.
To borrow a theme from the Odyssey, popular film right now, it's you're Trojan horsing a good comedy inside of a pickleball film it's just easy to sell through for everyone. You know what I mean? Like, we'll just get it done.
Yeah, it's smart.
I'm sure it's actually funny and there's some good people in it. Maybe one day I'll watch it.
What is so the Odyssey, we need to talk about this because I'm obviously never going to see it and I don't care. But a friend of ours, you think somebody, Jason, like you surprise me, but you're a consistent guy. I surprise you, but I'm pretty consistent. And sometimes I'm surprised by a friend, like a good friend, someone I talk to every day. I see a lot. We work together, and then they do something that feels so unbelievable that it makes me question everything I've ever known. And I think that happened to me, and it's related to the Odyssey. And because of my Luddite qualities. I'm not super clear on the technology that was used, but if you could explain this to me in layman's terms, I think people at home would like to understand what I'm talking about.
You're talking about our friend did a thing involving the Odyssey. You're not talking about, technology or the process of the film itself.
No,
you're talking about what our friend did.
I'm talking about our friend creating something to help other dorks get tickets to see the Odyssey in 70 millimeter. That's what I'm talking about.
Well, okay. The first and most important part of this is that whatever this thing was, it was created by being vibe coded.
Okay.
So that should just be stated at first.
Okay. Up front.
Yeah. Yeah. A little trigger warning. Fast forward another 5 minutes if you don't like that stuff. But I think it's to find where it's like he vibe coded an app or a website or a service of some sort to help you find which theaters have open seats in IMAX 70 millimeter of the Odyssey in New York, if not America. I'm not sure.
Okay, so it's a vibe coded sort of ramshackle slapped together application or program of some sort that will alert you when tickets become available to see a movie. I just want to be clear that's what this is. So
yes.
What you're saying to me is that people are so desperate to see this movie the way that the director intended in 70 millimeter film that you're basically setting an alert, a timer, but it's a third party. So you're going that extra step to make sure you're able to secure tickets to see a movie that you can see at home in the next month or whatever.
Yeah, and I'm not exactly positive how much of it is IMAX related. You can probably search for, because I think it's hard to get tickets for this film just kind of in general, but especially the IMAX because of the limited releases of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's kind of a good thing for the theater and film industry that people are getting really into IMAX. I guess 50 years after it was invented. It's a very vinyl kind of thing, and it's going to create, I guess, some like competition amongst letterbox users of, you're going to have a little badge on your post whether or not you saw it in IMAX and what I got the 70 millimeter badge.
You have to scan your ticket. You have to scan your ticket stub to prove that you saw it in 70 millimeter.
And it's going to have Strava like challenges where it's like, oh, I'm the king of this theater. I saw it 8 times in one day. You fucking loser.
I don't. Okay.
I think because like, normally if it was not vibe coded, i.e. he used AI technology and said, build me an app that does this, make no mistakes, and it. A few days later with some tweaks and some tokens and whatever, you've got it and it works, versus no one's going to sit down and code this app because, the movie's going to be out of the theaters in a month and it's just not worth it. But so now because of the vibe coding ability, you can create apps that are really hyper niche and specific and useless. And I guess that's kind of fun and interesting. It's kind of like those little niche guitar pedals that people make, or
I
analog synth gear or something like. It has like a cool like collectible DIY kind of part about it.
I mean, as long as you're using your evil AI tools for pointless things like this and spreadsheets and not art, I guess it is the best case. But I don't,
or not like evil. Like I vibe coded an app to see like the best places to firebomb an abortion clinic, or where the most whatever is if you want to blow it up kind of thing.
I just don't the desire to see this movie is well, also I didn't know that. Did you know that IMAX, like, they can't make any more of them? Did you see this? Like, they can't, there's some issue that they like can't make more
of the projectors or the themselves?
The projectors. So it's sort of like all we've got is all we've got, and they have to be repaired and shit. It's like a very it's just interesting.
Creates a false scarcity market, which is cool. No, I mean, people say that all the time now about I guess like some movie stuff like that, but also some just like regular machinery and products like paint or something like that, where they'll be like, this is what XYZ was in the 70s or the 60s. We can't recreate it now because we just don't know how to. The brain has gone so far inside of itself that some of these, I have no idea why we can't make any more IMAXs, but we're just too cucked in 2026 to have the chutzpah to be able to create more. I don't know.
I don't remember. I think IMAX is for children is what I think. I mean, but 4DX is for children because it's like, Universal Studios stuff.
4DX is for babies.
But IMAX is like, if you can't watch a movie,
like you.
I don't know, man. If you need that to see the movie, that's to me, you're creating a wall between you and the viewer. If that is how God has intended you to see it, then a lot less people are going to see it, is my guess. But I mean, I don't know. Or you would see this movie though, I think, right?
Yeah, I guess I would see it, but I'm in zero hurry to see it, and I don't know. I almost get like a perverse pleasure out of knowing that the likelihood of me seeing it on a Delta plane versus an IMAX theater, it's like 93% likely that I will never go and see this in the theater. I see, 4 movies a year in the theater, it seems like. I don't know. I've never cared about the Odyssey. I never read it, and it seems like a film that's not a movie. It's just like a product, even though it was made by a true auteur. But
the only thing I noticed about Christopher Nolan is he's got a great head of hair. And I feel like that's not talked about. I don't know about his movies. I probably haven't seen any of them, but I really his hair is really great, and I think people should talk about it a little more.
Okay,
I'm looking for the positives.
Chris Nolan, nice head of hair. Films could go either way on him, but
yeah, at least he's got. I mean, he's pushing 60. He's got a nice head of gray up there.
Yeah, I guess I don't care. I mean, after watching that thing where all the cast members were like rapping.
Yeah,
like Greek words, and I was like, I never want to see this movie. I don't give a flying shit.
What is required of A-list celebrities to sell whatever it is they're in is just. I mean, it's honestly gotten crazy. Like that kind of thing.
Matt Damon should be able to say no to that.
That's like remember when Ellen took the selfie with all the celebrities, or the Gal Gadot video of her like crying during COVID? It's like it's that level of stuff. That's supposed to make me want to go see a 3-hour movie that's going to cost me $60. Like it just doesn't. That's not. Who is that for? I don't know who that's going to work on.
I think it's for kids. I think it's for children, and I think we all know that kids can convince their parents to spend money.
That's true.
Better and more efficiently and cheaper than out of home advertising.
Damon's looking good though.
Damon's looking good, and if I'm Damon. I got $100 million in the bank. I'm 50 years old. I could do whatever the fuck I want. And they're saying like, hey, rap like permethazine with Penelope and the Trojan Ithaca, just like wrap that with people on a screen. I'm going to say, I'm not going to do that, bro. You could tell Christopher Nolan to fucking lick my nuts.
Unfortunately, there are some contractual obligations to promotional materials, and I'm sure they worded it in a way where they didn't say you're going to have to do Hamilton style raps with your co-stars in the contract language.
Well, that gray area will be discussed in court.
Yeah, imagine. Like I can't promote this movie. Like it's the biggest movie in the world. I'm sorry, I can't rap. That's just too far.
Also, he did a lot of bad things, but Harvey Weinstein would have not let that fly either.
Good point. For all his ills, he wouldn't have made Matt Damon rap the Odyssey. With
I mean, there'd be issues with the casting, the female casting, sure, but some of that bullshit like that wouldn't get through neither.
I don't, because I saw like Eben and Io did one of those New York Times cooking videos that they're doing now, and it was really funny actually. Like the clips I saw, I was like, this is fucking funny, sure. and I was like, this. I think giving people, like, I think if it's the right people and you give them something to do, it's actually a really funny idea, and it's like everybody can sort of be lighthearted about it, but like that, like rapping. Like no white people should rap. I've said that since. I mean, don't get me started on LP. You know what I mean? Like this is like a real issue, and to force you to do that to sell tickets feels inhumane.
I know. I was watching some video podcast. I think it was like British people, and it was Tom Holland. I don't know what he's promoting. Spider-Man, I guess.
All he does is promote. It's crazy. That little guy is everywhere, man. It's unbelievable. I've heard more about Tom Holland in the last 3 months
I've never seen him in a single film.
The only thing I know
every day.
The only thing I know about him is his non-alcoholic beer brand, and he's married to Zendaya. Those are the only things I know about him.
Yeah, he's a fake alcoholic, and he's married to Zendaya in I guess a beard relationship, right?
No, I don't even think it's like that. I think they're nerds. I think like nerd love can seem like that, but I think nerd love is very similar to beard love. And I think that's what we're working with.
Ooh.
I think that's what we're working with here. I really do.
Okay, the intersection of nerd love and beard love.
I just think that like
because there can be real love with a beard, right, Chris?
I think so. I don't know. I wouldn't personally know anything about that, but I think so. I think so.
You think so? You feel it, don't you? You feel it.
I just love, Jason. Whatever that entails. But yeah, I think that's what. But Tom Holland. It's just some of these actors just aren't compelling people, and now because of the promo, like he's probably an amazing actor, but the promo that's required to sell a movie is now personality based, and a lot of these people just don't have a personality, or they don't have one that they're willing to showcase in an authentic way.
Yeah,
so it's, I guess,
like, it reminds me of Tom Cruise, who's sort of in the zeitgeist again because of a movie called Digger, of all the words to call your film, but another guy who's like, hey, I'm a really good actor. I put out an amazing movie every 2.5 years. I've been doing it for 40 years. You put me on screen in an interview, I'm going to be a fucking weirdo. I'm going to suck.
It's
going to be stupid, but everyone's like, yeah, I don't care.
I want to see you.
The movie is bomb.
Yeah, it's pretty unbelievable how, because now, I mean, it's,
but I want those guys. I want Tom Holland to be a weirdo freak, not just like a boring guy who has media trained answers.
But what I'm saying to you, Jason, is I think he is at his core. That's what I'm saying. I think he is, but he's been famous so long, he's had to bury that deep down inside of him, and is only able to come out.
Yeah, and I'm saying come out that closet.
Nah, not when it's Spider-Man, bro.
Different closet.
Nah, not when it's Spider-Man. There's too much IP at risk. They can't do all that. But I don't know, like, because you're forced to do the rap with your co-stars, then you're forced to do the regular sort of like, press juggernaut of we sit in a hotel suite and talk to every foreign press member for 3 days straight in Berlin, and I feel like I want to kill myself.
Do you have any fun stories from the film?
But then in addition to that, you have to post on your own social media, and then you also have to go do, Dak Shepard and call her daddy and find some emotional story to tell. It's just it's not tenable. Like, people don't contain.
We were able to get the third AD from Ozark, and what they brought was so important.
It's just like you can't. There's just only so much these people can do. We're asking too much, and it's not good for anybody.
I agree. Spreading them too thin when you just do one. But that's every job now. If you're a chef, you can't just be really good at cooking. You also have to be really good about inventing TikTok recipes and putting them out every 4 hours.
Well, if you're a good chef, you're worried first and foremost about the cheese pull and how it's going to look on camera. And I think that's what, that's something that I look for in my food creators.
Is you sucking or not? Actually, speaking of food, went to Squirrel for dinner a couple nights ago. It was quite good. They said that when you order the cookie there for dessert, it comes with a glass of milk, because I suggested it one time. So I don't want to take credit for that. It's not necessarily
you are taking credit for it, and they told you that you did it. So in fairness, you should take credit for it.
This is my roundabout way of taking credit for it. But I wish it was something a little more. I found myself texting Jessica more inventive food ideas, just to, if I'm going to have a banner in the ceiling, I don't want it to be this guy. What if you put peanut butter and jelly together? It's not that. So I was like, maybe a little lardo over the melon seed syrup, which is a thing that I texted her, and she said that next time you come into town, Chris, that she redid the fish dish. It'll be a very kind of lighter summer trout, no beurre blanc in play. So
I'll be there. I'm gonna come. Well, I'm coming for the fest, but hopefully I'll come a little before, so because I know you're going out of town. But hopefully,
at the very least, you'll be here in a month's time, but probably once before as well, right?
I would hope. I would hope. There's nothing better. I had a great weekend in LA a couple weeks ago. I always stay for longer, and I forget how powerful 3 days in LA can be.
Oh, you're saying that's good?
Yeah, I'm
you
saying
get in, you get out.
I like both, depending on what's going on with me, but I felt like I haven't done a 3-day sort of like we're kind of hanging at the hotel. Didn't overschedule myself. Just kind of hung out with the homies. We had a great day in Glendale. It was nice.
That's something that I've been trying to do lately is, remember that we live in LA, which is a place where many people go to vacation. And as a resident, sometimes it's easy to forget that you can just sort of live. Like you don't have to go to Ojai, or you don't have, as lovely as it is, you don't have to get on a plane or get in a 3-hour Uber that costs as much as
California's
a MacBook Pro.
California's natural beauty is I think that
so we're trying to take Bean and her purple harness over to the dog sitter, and just let her chill for a couple of days, and then just go to the beach, whatever. Go get lunch at Erewhon in a different part of town that you don't go to. Just be lazy, like you said. Go over to the chateau and have a beach, have a pool day. Have a couple Aperol spritzes in the water.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I think that American, domestic tourism.
Go get an ice cream.
Domestic tourism. After my flight from Boston to New York was delayed 3 hours and 45 minutes, I was less bullish on domestic tourism than usual.
Right.
But I do think that the sort of California of it all is, the flight is long, but the flight ain't, you don't have to take a boat and a donkey, to get to Greece where you don't have any, all you can eat is feta and there's no AC. It's a little bit right. There's
You're living off red onions for a week as a vegetarian down there, huh?
There's reasons to do both, is what I'm trying to say.
The red onions are so good there, though.
They're amazing. Some of the world's best red onions. But I'm glad that you're exploring your California. I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, this is my California, and we pay so much money to live here. Everything's so expensive here. Treat it that way, and I'm sure you do the same thing in New York, where you just live like you're on holiday. You walk, you drop off your underwear to get it fluffed and folded, and then you go get an iced cortado. But you're like, wait a minute, this iced cortado has cubes in it. I think I like this place.
It's not quite the same, but New York famously, you leave the house, you spend $100, so it's another $100. Like whatever. It's.
I think the only thing I think we need is to really make it feel as if we are on holiday, and it's going to be tough to pull off since it's illegal. But LA and New York, there needs to be some type of smoking section. Like obviously, every restaurant has the choice if they want to have smoking or not. So we might have to designate like a part of town that is smoke friendly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think that I'm sure Silver Lake would be open to that. I'm sure the problem is.
That's the problem. Silver Lake is way too cucked nowadays. Atwater Village, way too cucked. But like you have this outdoor dining. We have the Capri clubs and the Siniskis and the Tondos and the Secos. We have everything except for the smoking. That's what ruins it.
But then when they do it in country, when you're in Japan or something, they do it, but it's still like you're in a dark room with a ventilation system. So it's not it's a little more utilitarian, let's say, than like a sexy cigarette. Yeah. That's the issue. That's the major issue I'm finding there.
Like if the chateau had ashtrays on every table outside by the pool.
You can smoke out there.
Because you can smoke there, right? You can smoke there.
I think if you're behind, the hedges in certain places and you're paying enough, you can kind of do whatever, except, break a glass. But I think that otherwise, I wonder, I feel like also some places, it's like anything else. It's like, it's a vibe thing. Like if you're annoying, you're told no, and if you're cool, it's no big deal. That's the way the world should operate with a lot of things that are, not a big deal.
It's a case by case basis. Unfortunately, where most people are bad at judging those cases, or they just don't have it in their brain to do it anymore. What else is going on? Oh yeah, R.I.P. Lou. From Sick of It All.
Lot of fucking, it's clobbering time, bitch. It's it's sad. I didn't realize he's young, man.
Yeah,
that's whatever. I think he's 59. R.I.P. though. Sick of It All was really a lot of people's entry into hardcore. Not mine personally, and maybe not yours, but for a lot of people, it was, especially on the East Coast, that was a big thing.
Yeah, and they have a very very famous iconography, that sort of little dragon with the NY logo.
Oh, amazing.
It's like a real kind of like 80s, 90s East Side tattoo, like so many previous generation guys that are 55, 60 years old now. You know, it's just that represents that time of New York where like the last time it was like really tough.
That
you know
to
what
me
I
and the
mean?
Warzone cross are some of the best hardcore, especially like New York, New York based East Coast. But those are two iconic logos. But yeah, RIP.
Yeah, R.I.P. What else we got, Broham?
Shit, dude. I mean,
Timothée Chalamet is wearing really bad short pants right now. Have you seen this?
I've seen a lot of that. Yeah, I've seen a lot of that. You know what, man? I think we got to lay low. We got to just lay low. He was wearing like a tank top, but it's hot. I don't know if the twink death is over-reported. I think maybe he's just letting it loose during the summer,
Well, I mean, does the twink death have something to do with muscle mass increasing? Because you're not letting yourself go at that point. Does that mean he's getting enough protein?
I don't know if he's. I think the muscle mass on a guy that thin is a little tough to judge from a bystander.
Welcome to my fucking world, Queen.
I don't know if he's in the weight room, but he might be. I mean, I just feel like he's dicking around and maybe he's having a few too many hoagies or something. I don't think he's like.
Wouldn't it be cool if
I don't think he's in a.
He just got really fat eventually, like he just went Jack Nicholson mode later on. I think he'd be beloved if he got fat.
Oh, I think he'll do a DiCaprio thing if his body will allow. You know what I mean? He might be one of those guys who it's just not going to happen no matter what.
Do it. Yeah.
30, lose 30, gain 30, lose 30 for 10 years for career purposes. That's really bad for you.
It is bad for you, but I'm going to keep trying.
Yeah, I'd love to see you put on 30.
It's so hard, man.
No, I'm glad that I've never had to do that or try to go that way. I think that's honestly harder in many ways.
Yeah, has there ever been a time where you tried to get a large amount of protein in your body?
I would say right now, because I cut out the smoothies and the bars, that this is the most I've tried to, like, this is the most I've ever thought about protein in my life. Because I'm just like,
really?
Yeah, because I just don't want to be hungry, but I don't want to.
Smoothies can have a lot of protein in them.
I know.
I make a smoothie that got 50 grams in it.
No, I know, but I had to stop. I was just like, I don't think this. I was like, I would have a smoothie after I worked out, and then I'd have lunch, and then I'd have a bar, and then I'd have dinner. And I was like, I don't need all of this. If I eat 5 eggs and toast and avocado at lunch, I don't need to have a 350 calorie bar in the afternoon. I was just doing it because it was a treat.
Keep it simple, stupid. I like it.
It's better to have a croissant, like calorically. Do you know what I mean? It's like at a certain point.
Yeah.
And people have always said that to me, and I was like, whatever, that's stupid. And then I tried it, and I also just, my stomach, I just feel better. Like I just feel so much better. Because it's like, if I have to have something, I'll just have like a banana, which I don't like, but it satiates the craving and it's not processed.
How would you feel, about like just introducing like a turkey tofu patty into your life? Is that crazy? Just to really bump it up?
I would rather, and this would probably not feel good either, I would rather just sort of like freebase the protein powder. You know what I mean? Or whatever, like, just what do you call it when you
dry scoop?
I would rather dry scoop.
You would just like mix like 4 ounces of water with 30 grams of protein powder and just kind of slug it down.
Yeah.
And keep it moving. Okay.
Yeah, that's what but I just feel like, yeah, it's a more difficult thing when you can't just have, ground beef and mango or, chicken all day, chicken all day. It's a little, but
12 duck eggs, 5 kiwis,
exactly.
Dinner sorted.
Exactly. I mean, this is obviously my own doing, but as long as I feel good, I'm happy. I don't feel any. I felt like my bar addiction. I talked to another friend about this. He's like, bro, my friend was eating 2 a day, and he stopped and said the same thing.
Okay.
He's like, he felt better. He looked better. It's just like OD, but they taste good. It's a candy bar.
True. No,
but I love them.
Ever since I've known Carolyn, she's always felt that like protein bars had like dark energy, and she always like did not like them in the house.
No, that's
for whatever reason. I don't know why.
I think the real reason I got into them was traveling. Because it's like you're in the airport in fucking Milan, and you're hungry as fuck, and the only option
it's your fridge sig.
Yeah, the only option is a fucking mozzarella and tomato panini at 10 a.m. and you're like, I don't really want that. Let me pull a Cliff Bar out of my carry-on, and you can just get used to it, and you buy them on Amazon. It's really easy. You know what I mean? It's easy to have them in the house. But the key to all eating is not having it in the house. As I look at my 2 boxes of Round Swamp Farms cookies that we brought back from Montauk, it's
you
getting it out of the house.
2 boxes of round
swamp
pond farms. Round swamp.
I'm not. So one of them Alex found because she knows that it's sort of like a thumbprint vibe, but it's not thumbprint. It's like it's like an almond with a raspberry jam, and then there's like a brownie as well. But Jason, these are 2 small. I would say I bet there's 12 to 14 pieces in each of these receptacles. They hit me for $39. They hit me for $39.
Yeah.
Alex was like getting her card out, and I was like, I got it. And then I got it, and I was like, I don't got it. Actually, I meant to tell you this. This is the best things ever. So, I like to have cold brew in my hotel room if I can. If I'm in a city, if I'm in LA, for example, I'm going to hit Erewhon, I'm going to get the cold brew, or hit Bristol Farms, get the cold brew, have it, so I can keep my routine going. And we were at a coffee shop in Montauk that was quite good. The product was quite good, and they had their own big bottle of cold brew, chameleon size. Chameleon size, I'm paying $12.99 or less on Fresh Direct. I buy Sam and Emma order cortadas. I get a cortado, and then Alex is like, "Oh, Chris, maybe you want to get this for the morning." I'm like, "Oh, that's awesome. The coffee at the hotel is not up to snuff. This is perfect." $45.
Okay. And this is I think the cold brew, the chameleon cold brew that you're getting, I think that's like the 32 ounce in the glass jar, right?
This is the exact same 32 ounce glass jar, not even a concentrate, $45.
Ooh. Did you buy it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I was already, I mean, at that point, it's just funny to me. Like, I've already chalked up this, these kind of weekends, you're just like, fuck it, man. This is all
We go to Montauk to burn money. It's part of the pleasure.
Well,
it's like Vegas.
I'm not having to buy $25 Aperol spritzes. There's no, you know what I mean? It's like, but I was like $45 for, and then I'm doing the math. I'm like, well, that's 4 cold brews. That's $10. It's like, it's bad, but it's like the prices of cold brew. I think we're going to get to a point where all cold brews are starting at 10. I think we're getting soon. I think that's coming soon.
Really?
I think it's like I think
just based on the extraction times?
Not the extraction times. I think the demand. I mean, if matcha's not crushing you, then cold brew is your number one seller, I would imagine. If you're a coffee shop, I would guess in the summer especially. And if you're at 8, what's 10? Like what's to stop? What's to stop you? Because I'm going to pay it. You're going to pay it.
It's a goon to a goblin.
Yeah, most people are going to pay it.
And also, though, restaurants and coffee shops, they probably love the cold brew. It's just less work. They don't have to open up the steamer and the pulled in the shots, and that you just pour it out of a fucking jug.
How's your
off you go?
How's your barista career going? By the way, I need to check in with you after, because the cortado.
We're dialed in with the fellow Series 1 espresso machine.
Okay, you're there.
Yeah, I've learned so much about coffee. I've learned so much about bar pressure, extraction times, bitterness, sourness, all that stuff. The good people at Fellow, they sent over the Opus 2 grinder, and she's grinding, brother. So you can really pinpoint. It gives you like a real precision pinpoint where you can dial in just how fine you want the coffee to be.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to, depending on a light roast, dark roast.
The grind has to be different.
Every bag of beans you got to recalibrate to. But once you get it dialed in, what a pleasure. And I mean, I'm drinking so much espresso lately, it's kind of cuckoo, but it has less caffeine than a cup of coffee. So
yeah. I'm glad. I knew you would get it. It was delicious and it looks good, but I just wondered. I knew you.
The shot that you had,
let it sit.
Whatever that was, Wednesday or I don't know, a week ago. That was piss compared to what I'm pulling nowadays, bro.
I had a feeling. So if we, all right,
pure piss.
This is it. I think the How Long Gone coffee shop concept. This could be the step in the right direction that we need, because people are going to want to see you working a few shifts when we open the doors. You know what I mean? So you got to be able to. We'll get the La Marcosa. We'll get the custom blue and green giant rig. We'll only offer pecan and whole milk, a nod to Georgia and a nod to your culture of whole milk.
A shiver runs through my body.
We'll get Balthazar pastries imported, so there's a little bit of New York flavor in LA, and we'll just run it.
We'll have a meeting about that one. I'm not in love with that. We'll have some select items, Chris, but overall, I agree with you. I'm on board with all of it. I find myself taking on a Larry David kind of spite store latte Larry, and I think because like the whole point of his coffee shop was a spite store to put the neighboring coffee shop out of business, but he ended up realizing that he has so many ideas about the way businesses should be run, urinals and bathrooms, and all that stuff.
Yeah, of course.
So
of
it's our opportunity to right all the wrongs that we see in America, nay, the world's coffee shops, and we can go in. And,
we'll talk offline. Yeah. We'll talk about offline about which coffee shop we want to open next to destroy. I have some ideas. I'm sure you have more ideas, especially in the LA region. You know what I mean?
I've got ideas. Proof Bakery, you're going down.
Kumquat, watch your fucking back, you little twee ass. No, I could never go to Highland Park.
Kumquat, low quat, all the quat.
I could never go to Highland Park. There's nothing worse than that.
No, I agree. I was leaving Pasadena yesterday, and I wanted to go grocery shopping, pick up a couple artisanal items, a tomato, some iceberg,
of course,
a beautiful red onion. I was making some burger bowls, and we were right. We could have stopped at the Cookbook in Highland Park on the way home, but instead I drove an extra 30 minutes out of the way to go to McCall's in Atwater.
Not 30 minutes.
Dead ass. I had lunch at Panda Inn in Pasadena. What a nice little vibe over there. They got the Sapporo on draft with the samurai sword pull.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
But we were driving down the 110 through Highland Park, where you would exit to go to Cookbook and buy all the same exact things I was about to buy somewhere else. But we were just like Saturday afternoon walking around Highland Park. It's that unappetizing that I'm willing to go out of my way just so we don't have to deal with it.
The best thing that ever happened. The best thing that ever happened to me was Sam Jane leaving Highland Park, because man, that's the only reason I would go there. That Sam Jane had me in Highland Park all the time, and I was like, bro, I can't keep doing this. I just can't. I can't keep doing this.
And Highland Park, to be clear, I'm old enough to know when Highland Park was run by quaint Latinos and Latinas and Latinx people. It was quaint, but it was cool. I mean, it was a little rough around the edges, fine, but once it really started being taken over by the Cricket wirelesses and the Hippo and the this and that, she's gone.
I ain't going there. Fuck that. All right, how long gone? Fuck that. Thank you for listening. Thank you for listening. We're back next week with more podcasts, and we'll talk to you soon.